You're generating business from the Internet for your real estate company. What are you doing there to stimulate, what'd you say, 54% of your business came from the Internet?
It is, last year. And some listeners might say, oh my gosh, he's not a very good relationship person because I do 80% of my business with past clients. One of the things that I will say is that, I never really got into the stupid loans and all of these investors and stuff like that. So the majority of the people that I've dealt with over the years have been quality people that bought quality houses, and I spend half my time telling people, hey, look, you got to live somewhere. Don't sell your house. Let's wait this one out. So as a result, my regular retail referral business has actually dropped off, the repeat business, I should say. And so my Internet business has picked up because we've had more of a focus on it. Basically, the way that I see it, and again, I don't mean to come across as a total expert on this. I'm not trying to do that, but I am lucky in that I do understand technology, especially for a guy in my early 50s, and I live in a very, very techy part of the world. The Pacific Northwest is definitely a leader in the world when it comes to technology. I mean, the biggest employer around my office is Intel with 20-something thousand employees here. So basically, the 54% that I referred to from 2010 coming from the Internet comes from the three sources. So there's my main website, roblevy.com, and there's what I call stealth sites, which I'll elaborate on in a second, and then there's the Facebook business page. Let's start with Facebook. There's a Facebook business page and a Facebook personal page. When I got up to about 1,500 followers on my Facebook personal page, I started to realize I was getting into trouble. Number one, they have a limit of 5,000, and I knew that I'd get there pretty quick. Number two, you really can't do much business stuff on your Facebook personal page, and if you start dumping your listings, which some services offer to do automatically on your Facebook personal page, they'll just turn off your account. It's right there in the writing. I've seen people that have had it done, and you're done. You just lost all 2,000 contacts or whatever the heck you had in there. So it's very important to develop a Facebook business page and start moving your existing people over there and driving new people there. And the beauty of the Facebook business page is this. If I've got a business page and it's dedicated for business, so Facebook's cool with it. If I have a listing that goes up on there right now, and all of my listings automatically do, I do my blog articles, and I also put my newsletter, a copy of that on there, and you're a friend of mine, you've liked my page, then that's actually going to show up on your page. So now your friend is my friend because the friend of yours just checked your page and saw this new house that just came on the market in Southwest Portland by Rob Levy, so you advertised my listing for me. So I definitely get business out of that. But let's go back to the websites for a second. So there's two types of websites. There's roblevy.com, which is my main site, and we're going to talk about organic SEO. SEO is search engine optimization. Organic means it's done by content rather than paying for it. And then the stealth sites. Let's say you mentioned you live in Denver and you're thinking about moving to Portland. And I know we're doing this audio in September, and you're thinking about moving next February. You and your wife know you've got a job transfer coming up. You want to kind of find out what's going on in the housing market. Probably the last possible thing you guys want to do right now is talk to a realtor, because you know that if you go to roblevy.com, I'm going to start bugging you, trying to make sure that I'm your realtor, and I know as a realtor that you're probably contacting 2 or 3 different agents. So the second source that seems to work so well is something called a stealth site, and the idea of a stealth site is a site that kind of flies under the consumer's radar. And the way that works is I've got some domains, for instance, like portlandmls.net, emailhomevalue.net, oregonbankhome.com. I've got a short sale site and various other sites. So let's say that you're surfing Google and you see 7, 8 realtor sites on the first page, and let's just say, for instance, I'm number 1, which actually I am, and we'll get back to how I did that in a minute, out of 6,000 agents in Portland, by the way. You still probably aren't going to want to go to my site, because remember, you're moving 6, 8 months from now. You don't want to talk to me. But on the right-hand side or the top where all the paid ads are, you might see a link that says, get emailed all the homes in Portland as they come on the market. Click here, portlandmls.net. You're probably more inclined to click on that, the type of buyer I just described you as, because it's non-threatening. So you'll actually go to that page. It's got some maps and pictures of houses and stuff like that, and it's going to ask for your first name, your phone number, and an email address, and it's going to say you're looking for a house, a condo, price range, area, bedrooms, bathrooms, stuff like that. So you're going to fill out that form because it's non-threatening. Well, of course, it's going to go to me. It's going to go into my IDX. You're going to get the listings you want, but it's also going to get a series of drip emails coming from me. And they're categorized into 2 types. One is just check-in messages, hey, this is Rob. I just wanted to check and make sure you're getting all the listings that you want. And the other one that I've really gotten into big time is video. And those would be video messages. And basically, I did a whole series of videos. There's about 130, I think, in there. And it's me sitting at my desk saying, "Hi, this is Rob Levy of Prudential Northwest Properties in Portland, Oregon. Today I want to talk to you about the Oregon Property Disclosure Form." And then it scrolls showing the pictures of the form, and there's an audio overlay that I did over the top. It says, "This 4-page form is the Oregon Property Disclosure Form. You as a buyer have the right to review this form, and you'll be getting a copy of it, blah, 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 blah." And then at the end, it comes back to me sitting at my desk again saying, "Thanks again for working with us. We look forward to helping you find a home in Portland, Oregon." So let's elaborate on that again. You're going to be getting the emails with the listings, emails from me checking in, an email, what I like to call educational videos. And by the way, those are interviews with escrow officers. Those are interviews with my furnace guy, talking about the difference between an 80% and a 96% furnace. So what I'm trying to do is educate you and build rapport. Earlier in this conversation, I talked about having to make friends as a kid from moving all over the world so much. That's what I'm really trying to do with you here. I'm trying to make friends with you. So you're probably well inclined to start responding to some of those emails. And once you've done that, now you've moved yourself from a lead to a prospect. That kind of covers stealth sites. The one thing that I do want to talk about with a stealth site is portlandmls.net, for instance. If you go and look at it, it's one page. And that's all it is. So there's no way on God's green earth that could ever show up high in the search engines because there's no information on there. So the only way to market that is pay-per-click advertising through Google, Bing, whatever it is that you're using. And so that's what we do to promote those ones. The second part of the conversation is the regular website. I mentioned that roblevy.com, if you search Portland Realtor, I'm generally towards the top of the front page. Portland, Oregon Real Estate, I'm either on the first page or the second page. That's a tough one, and Portland Real Estate's tough because there's also Portland, Maine, so there's two cities that are competing with a total of about 12,000 realtors. But, first or second page is pretty cool. And the way that I do that without paying any money is the V word again, video. So what I've done is I've gone out there and I've done videos of all the different neighborhoods in town and created what I like to call community pages. So if you were to go to roblevy.com, for instance, click on communities, click on Southwest Portland, you'll notice that, A, there's a bunch of subsets of Southwest Portland, like Hillsdale, Multnomah Village. I even have a link to the Portland Timbers soccer team there because the stadium's in Southwest Portland. But on the main page itself, you'll notice that there's 4 videos. And those videos are of different neighborhoods, and they're hosted on YouTube but play in RealPro. And then there's all sorts of information on Southwest Portland, and there's predefined searches. So there's links there to Southwest Portland homes, say between 200 and 300, 300 and 400, whatever the case may be. So if you were to type in, for instance, Southwest Portland Real Estate sitting there in Denver, Google's going to think, wow, this guy's really important. He's got all these community pages. He's got all these videos hosted on YouTube, and who owns YouTube? Google. He's important. Let's move him up the search engines. So by doing that for all different areas, and by talking about the videos I talked about earlier going out in emails, they all play on my RealPro System site, but they're hosted on YouTube. So Google thinks I'm way more important than I am. And so as a result of that, I come up high in the search engine.